Well, now it's time for our pole position. Hala.
Japan and the United States have committed to building an unshakable US-Japan alliance. The intention declared last week marks the 50th anniversary of the signing of the current Japan-US Security Pact. But US-Japanese relations have been greatly affected by the Democratic Party of Japan's landslide victory in the lower house last year. In addition, issues such as US military bases have never strayed too far from the headlines.
Japan is also becoming increasingly important to China, as evidenced by a number of high-level visits between the two countries in recent months. Aside from geographical proximity, though, the two nations share historical and cultural ties as well. Also factored into the mix is China's perception of Japan as a possible resurgent threat and Japan's close relations with the United States since the end of World War II.
Now, the Global Times carried out a poll asking people, do you think an alliance between Japan and the US poses a threat to China? Well, the respondents to this poll were almost fully in agreement. 90% think that the alliance does pose a threat to China, while just 10% think it doesn't.
Now, the topic attracted a number of comments. One of those rather bellicose comment here says that it will definitely pose a threat to China. Japan brazenly declared this, especially to guard against China. There have been a lot of conflicts between China and Japan, for example, the Diaoyu Islands and Taiwan, and these conflicts can't be solved without a fight. Another is the gas fields, which came up in the news recently between China and Japan. There's also conflict there. And he says we have even greater conflicts with the United States because it sees us as competitors.
Yes, another person saying that I can't see any difference. Japan has been in line with the US forever. Meanwhile, they say China is functioning as it has always done. This time, they just made the new agreement more clear. So this agreement can't be deemed as a threat. What China needs to do is maintain its own harmony and settle the grievances of its citizens by punishing corrupt officials.
Then one short but worried comment here that says two developed countries will surely do no good to one developing country like China.
Right, another person saying this is normal. China also has the Shanghai Cooperation Agreement. Although these two things aren't exactly the same, countries are free, they say, to do what they want. And all these organisations or pacts pose some kind of a threat to each other.
Well, I suppose old habits die hard. Japan and China always seem to be in that dance together. Now, stay with us. Coming up next, we have our feature story.